Guys, we paid for Tom Segura's 69 Minutes. We paid the $10. Let me show you what he promised us. Tom Segura, this was a big move for him. He spent thousands and thousands of dollars in production creating essentially an hour of television. You've heard this claim. You've heard Tom Segura say it. We're taking this show in another direction and essentially making an hour of television, like something you would see on Comedy Central. Well, what he ended up making was a show 40 times worse than Inside Amy Schumer that was shot and edited 60 times worse than Inside Amy Schumer. The fans are mad. People are not happy. We've got some clips. Let me show you him talking to Bob Kelly.
That guy looks like...
Let's go to 145.39 and let's see what happens. Oh, 145.39. Is it? Oh, look at that. I'm right there. This is really wonderful. Thank you, Chris. Chroma Chris. Here's Tom.
Tom Segura, you have a new thing out right now.
Yes.
It's 69 minutes.
69 minutes.
Why 69?
So we did like a...
And why do I always think of 69 when I hear 69?
Well, it's we did like a...
Because it's funny, Bob.
Of 60 Minutes, but we did pieces about things like, do poor people use washcloths only? Or, you know, like we did those types of pieces.
Right.
Christina did a piece on...
Christina did a
should
pee?
she expand or remove her whore her tramp stamp?
She has one?
Yeah. Danny Brown did why pickleball is really taking off with whites.
Is that funny to you?
Is this going to be a show like all the time?
I don't know. Like this
is funny.
We produced like I tell on the pot. We produced an episode of television. That's what it is.
We produced an episode. He's been saying this in every interview too for 2 months. So I'm walking around all over going, it's essentially a 1 hour television production. I can't get over that. You know, sometimes a guy says something, you're just going to make fun of it for years. This is one of those lines.
We produced like I tell on the pot. We produced an episode of television. That's what it is. It's 69 minutes, and that we use that kind of like to give ourselves parameters how to make this show, where I host it like I'm the host of a news show.
Yeah.
And I throw to different
Wait till you
packages
see
and
this.
pieces that we produce.
Like Brian
like a
Gumbel.
new show.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Just
Real
like
Sports.
Sports.
Right.
Exactly like
That's
Real
great.
Sports. And then some of the people sat with
Sounds
me
fantastic.
afterwards, and we play it like it's very serious, but it's very stupid shit. That we
I want to do one.
It's very
Dude,
fun.
if you ever do this again, please let me know.
I think we will.
I will, and
Oh,
this
yeah?
is where can you get it?
I don't know about that.
YMHstudios.com.
And how much does it cost?
$10.
Listen to this
$10
live
and
coming
you
up.
get the whole episode.
$10.
The episode. And,
Listen,
You own it
You own it?
I think it streams
forever.
for a long time.
Oh, you know exactly, because you've told people. He goes, so it's $10, but you own it forever, right?
Why would he say that?
Because he was trying to help him out, thinking that would be the deal. Hold on.
Oh, God bless you, dear.
Oh. I'm kidding. Well, I'm not fine. I mean, it really hurt. That was holding in his sneak. If you try to hold it, his sneak.
Oh, I know.
Oh.
I
Not
thought you
fine.
were finally gonna pull it away to reveal blood.
We got to do that bit eventually, where I go to cough into the
You love-
handkerchief and then there's blood. I quickly hide it, ashamed that people would know I'm doing this poorly. So I love this part. We get a Tom lie here. So for those of you who didn't know, no, 69 minutes, you get to rent it for 2 weeks. Okay, then it goes away. $10. It's a rental, a streaming rental for 2 weeks. But Bob Kelly tries to help him out, figuring it's going to be like one of Louie's things where you get to own it, right? Listen to this.
How much does it cost?
$10.
$10 and you get the whole episode.
You get the episode and
you own it
I think it streams
forever.
for
For a long time?
It doesn't. It expires in 2 weeks.
What a guy to have to tell.
Look at
it's
this
a
little
rental.
lie. So you lie about rentals, huh? You lie. We caught you in a lie. So how many of these are you telling? Because that sounds better at the time. In your little eyes, your Mike Bryden Stinnick eyes, you know that it's a 2 week shit deal rental that you can only watch on the site And then after 2 weeks, it's gone. God forbid you let them keep this piece of garbage. And then you told the lie to Bob Kelly. Guys, get into Bob Kelly's comments. Tell him about this lie. Tom Segura looked him right in the face and lied. Show him Mike Redbar said. Because surely Bob Kelly doesn't deserve to be treated like a big fat fucking gay.
I think it streams
Forever.
for a
long
For a
time.
really
They
long
say a long
time.
time
Yeah.
legally.
Well,
That's
mine's
great,
almost
man.
It streams
expired.
for a long time. Oh yeah, and that's the
It streams
upcoming.
for a
tour.
long
And then you
time.
say it again. It streams for a long time. So you're a lying, deceitful Merrill Lynchist. Look at this guy. And you know what? It's so great. This is why we're really going on this Tom Segura stuff. This is a moment in time that needs to be marked. Tom Segura has been the ooh-la-la of this comedy scene to people like Joke World for the last 5 years. I mean, he's the top of the heap. He's the richest comic, the most successful Netflixian. People are turning, though. I mean, every comment section is hundreds of comments against Tom. They're calling him the new Brendan. Too lazy to try. Podcast cringe. Comedy enforcement. They have all turned on Tom, stating that they used to be big fans. They have all turned. They can't wait to make their next video about Tom. Every 3 days, there's a Tom video coming out. We're in a great, wonderful period of time. Who could this be? I took those 9, right? Hello? Just kidding. It was just that old alarm. Remember this time. This is a great time. Could Tom, and you know what? He's built. Think about this, guys. Tom Segura has built this huge network. He's built these huge facilities. He's got 3 or 4 homes. He's got 24 different race cars. I'm sure his monthly expenses are probably coming out to about $800,000 a month now. This is a guy who just assumed that this business would be good for a long time. You know, what happens to a guy like this who's extended himself into thinking that he's a rich man for life? And maybe he is with the Merrill Lynch dad who died. I don't know. But you've set up your life as if you're rich for life. Life as if you started a company that's not being publicly traded. It's all good. You're not realizing Brendan Schaub was making a ton of money 2 years ago. He's letting off employees now because he can't afford it. Brendan Schaub's dirt poor now. It goes away real quick. You're not going to be doing arenas forever. What do you think? Every year you just get to tour and do 250 arenas every year? Ask Dan Cook how that's going. Dan Cook can't even sell out a comedy club now. He was doing arenas. It all goes away, especially for arena comics. There's never been one arena comic, well, Chris Rock maybe. But you're not in the movies like Chris Rock. You're not beloved by a million stupid black people. You're not Dave Chappelle level. This could really go away for Tom Segura. And he knows this. Tom Segura has been floundering, reaching out to fans in the comments, trying to be one of them, trying to be cool. I mean, he's worried about this backlash. And I'm watching it all, Tom. Tom's producers, his head producer, who was in 69 Minutes, is watching Redbar. He's loving Redbar. He's loving me stick it to Tom. Tom, that's bad. If one of my employees, one of my 100 employees here, was watching you and supporting you, I'd be furious. He'd be dead. The other thing I want to talk about with 69 Minutes, and this is a message for my friend, Bert C. Kreischer. Bert! Guys, clip this and send it to Bert. Hey, Bert, I purchased here, start over. Hey, Bert, it's me, Mike, from Redbar Pizza. Now, I purchased 69 Minutes. You know, I was told about all these cameos from all these people by your best friend, Tom. Your show is one of the biggest shows on the network, Two Bears, One Cave. It's YMH's top show. I was really shocked to see, Bert, that you were not featured in 69 Minutes whatsoever. Why? I suspect something bad. Ask Bert. He'll feel bad about that, too. Why wasn't he in it? There's something to that. Back to Tom lying a little bit.
Time? You say a long time legally.
Long time.
That's great, man.
It streams for a long time. Oh, yeah, and that's the upcoming tour.
What's the tour called?
Come Together.
And he's got a tour. Come Together. The Come Together tour. Isn't that funny? Because of come. He couldn't even spell it C-U-M. He was too afraid. Let's hear a little bit more from Tom, and then we're going to show you some of my favorite clips from 69 Minutes.
Chips in a bowl. Cats eating kibble.
Yep.
It's been a while.
Tom,
We are super excited. Next Friday,
please say an hour
December
of television.
15th,
Please say
69 Minutes, our first original comedy special, comes out.
Comedy
Tickets are on
special.
sale now at ymhstudios.com. Who appears in this special? Stavros,
Yes.
Whitney
Stavros.
Cummings, Danny Brown, Rob Iler, Lauren
Oh,
Compton,
Rob Iler.
Rachel
Oh,
Wolfson, Jamie-Lynn Sigler,
Imagine.
Joe List, Dr. Drew,
oh,
Duncan
Jamie-Lynn
Trussell,
Sigler.
Mateo Lane, Johnny Mitchell, Kevin Ryan,
These
H.
people.
Foley, Rory Scovel, Kim
Naming the
Congdon,
crew now.
Brian Simpson, Ryan Sickler, and Jessica.
So they
Kirsten.
all only appear as a stupid cameo. They've written no jokes for these people. These people just show up on screen and we're supposed to. He thought it was going to be like the Oscars, where they see just a person involved in a video piece and everyone, oh. No. No one cared.
And
Goes on and on.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
so for
Jessica
those
Kirsten. I'd
people
like to
asking,
wring
every
her
time we do
hair out.
a special ticketed event. Usually it's YMH Live or it's Two Bears Live. I just wanted to be very transparent about why this is the way it is. People will ask, like, why who's going to buy tickets? Why would you sell a ticket to this? So every time you do something like this, it is an experiment. The first time we did YMH Live, it's an experiment. This is the first time we're ever doing a fully produced comedy special. It's not a stand-up comedy special, but it's a comedy
Essentially
special.
an hour of TV,
And what we
please.
essentially did was we made an episode of television.
You did it. Thank you. That killed. Essentially, what we did, and he said this 1,000 times over the last 2 months.
And what we essentially did was we
Essentially.
made an episode of television.
Same thing, no different.
69-minute episode
Wait,
of,
do you see
of
what comedy
television.
enforcement had to
Content,
say
like,
about that, Tom?
that is comedy driven and has tons of segments in it. And
Segments.
it takes an enormous amount of resources to make that happen. We're a small production company.
Now,
This is like
the production company, the camera, the audio quality, the video quality was crap. I mean, this is better shot than what we got on the actual 69 Minutes. So now he's trying to make you think that they spent a ton of money on this. And maybe they did. Maybe they did spend a lot of money on Tom's new watch that he needed for the video.
He didn't
Tom's
settle for a Nixon.
no, his bespoke suit that you're going to see him wear. Maybe that's all the budget.
He
and
didn't settle for a
hey,
Vitali.
we make hours and hours and hours, cut to the wide, of television. We are the kings of television. Look at my floor, my poor floor.
Looks cool.
Looks great. And, we're not sitting around telling you about the budget. Oh, my poor budget, please, we got to make some more money here to pay for this budget. So we sat there as TV experts. We create hours and hours of TV. I've compared this frame by frame with Jimmy Fallon. Try this at home. Get the 1440p version of Redbar. Compare it with Jimmy Fallon. Compare it frame by frame. Which one looks nicer? That's an hour of television. So I went through 69 Minutes and I'm going, where was this money spent? And the only times you see money spent in 69 Minutes is travel for Tom to fly himself all over the country to do the skits. Tom's suits and wardrobe changes, Tom's watches, and big banners maybe that they printed that were way too big and they got ripped off for. They probably paid $3,500.
Tom's flight to New York.
Yeah, the flights, the travel. So, but we didn't see the money go into the production. We see the same cameras we're seeing here. We see a lot of production issues. We didn't see any writing. That was the big problem. We saw all those cameos, and it's almost like he invited the comedians over and just told them to riff. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Just riff whatever you're going to riff. Here's the plot here, just riff. We'll record it, and we'll use whatever we get. And that's what we got. We got a bunch of fucking nine. Tom?
Like writing, producing,
There's no writing.
casting, location,
No writing. This show is
travel.
more
My
well
mind
written.
just started
hair,
spinning,
makeup, audio.
remembering how horrible it all
It's
was. and I
so
was
bad.
trying
That's
to
why
think
I
of
have to stop everything. It's like I know people don't care.
It's
They
like,
know it
yeah,
sucks, but
anything we would say, Tom sucks or whatever. But this was actually
so bad. I really got to let people know that this was almost a crime that he attempted to pull off.
And now watching this again,
And look how much better my skin is than his. Look at this. Look at me compared to you.
you're bronze.
Why are you white and I'm nice? Why? Why are you festered?
I see you got a little burn from slaving so hard in the kitchen.
I got a little. Do you see this on my hand here? Can anyone see? See the burn? Look at that. That is a burn from pulling out stuff from the smoker. And unlike Joe Rogan, I didn't show you a bunch of scrappy, poorly cooked, poorly cut, more importantly, overcooked brown scraps that he cut up with his hunting knife real manically to show you how great he is. Here's a pro tip for you steak photographers. If it ain't perfect medium rare, don't post it. And I'll tell every time a steak photo comes in, I've done this for years, people don't learn. Even the steak channels, a lot of times they're trying to show up and then they cut it and it's all fucking gray. Unless they're trying to reach out to a new community.
They don't know the trick where you can't cut it right in the bright sunlight.
Oh, that's another thing. A lot of these steak guys, they'll do their final display out in the daylight. Well, what did I teach you about daylight? Daylight kills the pinkness of a steak. If you go to an outdoor restaurant, you're sitting in the sun, cut open your steak, it might look well done. In the sunlight, it might look brown. So I bet a lot of restaurants who have outdoor patios that serve steaks are getting steaks sent back constantly from people who think it's overcooked, when in fact, it's perfectly cooked. And the people at the restaurant don't know that the sunlight makes it so it doesn't look pink.
Can you do a restaurant prank where you sneak into a restaurant late at night and switch out all the bulbs with like daylight yellow bulbs
that
and then everybody
kill
will think
the
their
yes,
steak
and then
is
the restaurant goes
overcooked.
out of business. Oh, we're so sorry. You're fired to the chef on New Year's. Okay, so that's his plea. He pleaded
But
for you
even
to
watching this back again, it's almost like he knows
that
and is
it's
trying
shit.
to convince himself almost.
We're
I don't
gonna
know.
we hear from him. Let me pull up his Instagram because I commented on a Segura post today, which he saw. I'll show you this. This is pretty interesting. Let me open Instagram. Don't show my phone. Don't show my phone. Let me go to my likes because I'm sure I'm getting likes on this. Tom Segura. Okay, Segura Tom. Let me show you what he posts. This is pretty mean, and he never posts stuff like this. Go to my close-up there. He posts this, Operation Napoleon. It's his movie poster, and he says, I can't believe how terrible this movie is. Please watch so we could discuss. And it's like, you never post stuff like this. But this is what he said again. I can't believe how terrible this movie is. Please watch so we can discuss. Now, I'm coming off of I can't believe how terrible 69 Minutes is type of life. So I figure that's the most appropriate comment to say. So I write, can we discuss how terrible 69 Minutes was? 392 likes, by the way, if you want to see that proof there. 392 likes. 392. 27 comments. But look at this. He's responding to everybody. Even somebody says, LOL, why discuss? Poors can't talk to richies like you. And then Tom responds to that guy and he goes, I'm right here, peasant. You know, he's trying to play along. But Tom is responding to all the people in the comments. He goes, Tom, do you only reply to verified accounts? I would understand if you did. We are just too non-famous for a man like you. Tom responds and he goes, I haven't replied to more than one verified account here. Okay. So you're also being like slightly defensive, but when has Tom ever been in the fucking comments as if he's me and the BBG Must be nice to be able to afford Netflix, someone says. He goes, it's not on Netflix. Watched it a few weeks ago. Yikes. And this is what I hate. This is a Denny thing to do. You get a lot of people like, fucking with you and stuff. What I don't like is when a guy like Josh Denny or Tom Segura posts something and then somebody replies and then they start having a convo with them. For instance, like this, he goes, I watched it a few weeks ago. Yikes. And Tom jumps in. He goes, yeah, what the hell is happening? You don't often see movies where you could clearly see that the problem is the director. But this has to be a clear case of that. And it's like, what are you, fucking Josh Denny? This is what... You've seen Josh do this. It goes on and on. And look at this. Somebody comments the exact same thing I said. You should watch 69 Minutes so we could discuss how bad it is. Tom responds, and this answers your question when you said, I think he knows how terrible it was. Well, listen, this is on record today. You should watch 69 Minutes so we could discuss how bad it was. Tom says, I loved 69 Minutes. There's also a sequel coming. Doubling down. So there you go. He doesn't think it was bad, but he is reading the thousands and thousands of comments saying it's bad. So do you want to see what this thing looked like? What do you say, guys? Yes. Hava.
I can't wait. I was just trying to think what's the best parts, and it's like all
it's
awful.
All awful. Yes. Okay. So let's see if I could find it here. There it is. 69 Minutes with Tom Segura. Now, we were panicking. I bought this on my iPhone because you have to buy it on their website. I bought this on my iPhone, and I'm sitting there trying to AirPlay it to the TV through my iPhone, and I'm getting a big no smoking sign on the TV. And I'm going, they cut AirPlay. Well, they did. On your phone, you can't AirPlay or Chromecast this to your TV. So I'm freaking out. I go, you think I'm watching an hour on my phone? Or do you think we all have laptops and that's, a boomer believes. This is what a boomer believes. A boomer does believe everyone watches shit on their phones now because they've heard that, TikTok and all this. People only watch stuff on their phones. Nobody uses TV. We could just put it on I could see him doing that. And then he did the thing where you can't beam it to the TV because they don't want anyone recording it, right? And bootlegging it. Well, thank God we go to watch it. We go, we got to watch on the laptop. I'm not watching on my phone with two people. And then I'm thinking of Joke World and his friends having a Super Bowl style party.
I wish
where
that
they
was the
all
case.
come over to watch and they go, we can only watch on our phone. And they're all huddled around Joke World with big things of popcorn,
And Joke World's dying laughing and trying to get them to laugh too.
So we go to the bedroom. We pop open this beautiful MacBook Pro, 16 and a half inches. And we put it on. I go, before we watch this, let's see if it AirPlays from the computer. And it did. Okay.
Thank
So
God.
it did work from the computer. Thank fucking God. Because I don't know if I could watch it on my laptop either. But most people probably did. Most people probably tried to beam it on their phone. It didn't work. And then they had to watch an hour and 9 minutes on their phone. Well, here it is. This is all the buildup. And I said, Jules, maybe we should do this. I've got a ballsy move to get Tom's attention. Cut to me. I am releasing 69 Minutes for free. That was my idea. Could you imagine that? I just release it for free on my website and just start promoting it? What's he going to do? Sue? Then I tell, and this is my fantasy, I go, then I tell the judge how bad it was. And then they would agree and give me their gun. But here it is. For all the talking, I want you to see. This is what it is. An hour of television. This is the opening shot. I want you to see Tom's behavior. I want you to see the acting, the lighting, the sets. Here we go. 69 minutes.
All this and more on 69 Minutes.
You couldn't have given it a little more oomph, and it really starts dragging. That's the only time you're going to hear any background music. I think they got this from Keemstar, the graphics and the music. So that's Tom's big acting there. You're wearing a suit, and you're dying inside Tom's head. He's thinking, when they see me doing a news anchor, they're gonna fucking die. That's what he's
It's not
thinking.
even that different than how he usually acts.
That's worse than how you usually act. It's not like they're seeing me step out and do something like this. I mean, people would die if I fucking did this.
You would never.
They're not dying, and I would never. They're not dying that you're doing it. You're giving it no oomph. It's framed bad. You look bad. Wait till you see how 69 Minutes goes.
Good evening and welcome.
This is it.
We begin
This is
tonight
his show.
with washcloths. To some, these tiny square cuts of terry cloth are merely...
So for 15 years, somebody brought up a washcloth on his show 15 years ago. And he goes, washcloths, aren't those for pores? And everyone died laughing. Aren't they for pores? Because he doesn't use a washcloth. So 15 years ago, he said, washcloths, aren't they for pores? Ha, ha, ha. They all laughed. Now, that should have been it. We should have never heard about this. Again, I say things like this all the time. They come out my mouth and then they stay there on the floor. We don't revisit them because we once got a big laugh. These guys can never just let something funny come out and just leave it there. They have to, once they have something funny, now it's time to produce and get this little thing that came out of my mouth. We got to put that on the road. People must pay over and over again to hear that. So he thought this was so funny, and for 15 years, they've been talking about it. Every guest that ever comes on the show, he goes, do you use a washcloth? Do you think they're for poor people? So he thought this would be amazing to finally get to the bottom of it and interview experts about if washcloths are for rich people or poor people. However, the experts that he interviews are just acting in a skit. So he's not, like, it could be funny if maybe you went and talked to a real doctor and they didn't know what you were going to say and there were some awkward moments. No. They're all in on it. So we're just going to watch a really poorly produced skit of Tom asking people if washcloths are for pores. And it goes on for about 20 minutes.
Washcloths are for poor people.
That's just facts, bro.
I've ended friendships when I saw a washcloth.
Did you see how underdeveloped and underproduced that opening was there with him talking? This part?
Yes, Xander just said, is this next week tonight, season 2? And when we were watching this the first time, I was like,
yes,
it has
it's
the
exactly.
same delivery.
And he's even doing the delivery just because he's reading it for the first time.
But,
and this is what this is what you and your team of writers spending $1 million came up with. This is as funny as it gets. It's like when Andrew Schultz did that Netflix show, Turn Your Phone Sideways. You don't ever want to write anything, really, because that's showing that's the best you could come up with. See, I never write. That way it's just I'm just saying shit off the top of my head.
Nothing.
When you write something, that's, and especially when you talk about it for years, I write, I edit it down, I work on it. You wrote this, you edited it down, you worked on this? You should have just showed up to the camera and just riffed. It would have saved you some money. I hope you didn't spend any money on this writing. Look at the delivery, look at the writing, and really think about what you're seeing here. Could this actually be on TV? Well, it probably could. Should it be anywhere near any sort of screen? No.
Group who predominantly use washcloths. I know a couple of people who happen to think so. Washcloths are for poor.
He shows himself. I won't make you sit through that. It goes on for a long time. And Christina, you're not very good in this whatsoever.
You should have charged $10 for your Chola sketch.
That was way better when she did her own show.
When she was released from Tom's grip.
You were better. She's really fucking hot, though.
She
Seriously.
changed to a middle part. She looks great.
Have you seen her with a middle part?
She's looks great.
Fucking banging.
The utility.
It's like, why do people buy hot dogs?
This is the washcloth.
Wow.
Here we go.
Hearing all that made me realize
There's no
how much I'm
background
exactly
music,
like
60 minutes,
Mother
right?
Teresa. If instead of helping poor people, she had a podcast where she talked about how much they use washcloths. Dr. Thomas Garrison.
Look at this.
A professor in the Department of Anthropology.
So now he's going to sit down with the expert, but the expert's just doing a skit with him. Like, he's not really being interviewed. Why would we want to watch two people playing make-believe about a make-believe topic that should have never been re-brought up?
No, it doesn't work that way.
That's where
I guess we'd have to agree.
So now you could stop asking about the washcloth, but no, he goes on. It goes on for about 20 minutes.
He has an opportunity to maybe be funny with confronting a bunch of poor people about if they use a washcloth.
Wait till you see this.
I think it's right after this part.
No.
Oh, no, skip
We've
ahead.
got Brian Simpson here, who comedy enforcement was not too happy with, although I'm not seeing a glare there. Let's see. Was it comedy enforcement,
Yes.
the Mexican? I got to get a picture of each one of them.
The glasses glare.
Comedy enforcement did 10 minutes. He goes, there was a glare from the light coming onto... He was like the guy from the last episode of The Curse. There was a glare coming into his glasses from the side of the light. It was very unprofessional. And I'm like, wow, this is really nice. Have you been trained by Redbar? It's almost as if you've been... Okay, but the glare is not that bad. Let me show you what was really bad. So Tom interviews his friend, Brian Simpson. This is a fake bit. Watch this.
You haven't been clean until you were rich.
Yeah, this is...
You just grew up a dirty little motherfucker.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Wow.
Yeah.
So finding enough people who qualify as poor isn't an easy task. I'm kidding. It took about half an hour.
Okay, so this could have been funny, but all he did was hire 6 TV actors to pretend to be the poor. So it might be funny if you took a random group of black people, poor people, Hispanics, and laid this on them, but you didn't even have the balls to do it. So you hired these goofy, make-upped commercial actors wearing commercial wardrobe, making their commercial faces, and then you're going to sit there and pretend like you genius. More like Eugene, right? This fucking nerd. So let's see how this plays out. The funniest part.
Thanks, guys. For the sake of scientific accuracy, I want to make
this
sure
is
you guys are
children's
all
television.
actually poor, and I don't feel comfortable asking your financial status.
Oh, come on. I saw him in the T-Mobile wireless commercial. You're telling me my beautiful, rich family of blacks could get a new line for $99.99? Your house is too beautiful for those blacks. Those blacks. I got a new soundboard we're hooking up next week. You know what I realized? I got 5 more iPads in here that have a headphone out. I've been using this beat-up, broken... I'm getting slivers of... Can you see all the glass in here?
The broken one's cool, I
It's
think.
not cool when you wake up with slivers and then you're trying to play guitar.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and a black guy like this, you've seen in a commercial, he's got this beautiful like house like in Modern Family, like a style house like they have. And they're all clean. They all have beautiful clothes.
And the lady in front of him, no poor, has that hair. Sorry.
No. Sorry.
That's
Look,
rich
I know.
hair.
Look at your hair. These aren't poor people. This guy's like fully developed and nice. Well,
So I'm going to ask you a series of questions, if you don't mind raising your hands when it applies to you. Does anyone here actually use a washcloth?
And then they all, it's like, you went out and bought all new washcloths of the same brand in different colors to have them pull up? Like that's your production? Did you think I was going to die? You thought me, Mike from fucking Redbar, was going to sit here and die? Even Joke World is embarrassed. He's ashamed he had you on there to sell this to his audience. An audience that he's built from scratch. By me. Look at this pathetic display. Watch this.
Wow. The theory holds true. Do you guys think...
And these guys are going to mock SNL. You hear them every week. Oh, SNL. Why can't they ever do anything funny on TV? If we did TV, now that would be good, right? Well, here's your chance. It's worse than anything on TV. Worse than anything that's ever been on TV. And they didn't even use this opportunity to maybe do something that was too edgy for TV. It's not like they're selling this and there's so much edgy stuff that could never be on TV, and that's what you're paying for, like this Redbar.
There's nothing that's
There's
edgy.
nothing that's edgy. This could be on Nick Jr. Like, it's safe. It's safe for 3 p.m. Your kids get home from school. They could turn this on. The parents go out of town. Very funny. Very good actor. I like this actor. I'll hire him. Let's see what he does next. There's a couple of sketches I
He
wanted to
brings
show
Mark
you.
Cuban to say no.
brings
He
Mark
doesn't
Cuban
use
in,
Here, The only ones I wrote down is the prison dating app because they had the most guests.
Yes. So look at this. They've got Lauren Compton here. We're going to see
11:59.
Yeah, 11:59. Gotcha. Now this one I can't do my little thing on. It won't work. Only works on YouTube, right? Let's try. Yeah, no. Won't. My Redbar rewind won't work on here. Wait till you see this.
Jesus Christ. I'm an amazing reporter. We'll be right back.
Quiet.
Dating is hard. I've
Look
been
at
on
this.
all the
It's what's it? Congdon. They're going to do a dating app. Now this is worse than anything Amy Schumer ever dreamed up in the mind of Amy Schumer. Sorry guys. Sorry. I'll get it together. I promise. Sorry, we've been in Lamaze all week practicing for me to take a. So they're going to do this concept. Wait till you hear this concept. A prison dating app where you could date a local inmate. So here's how this next segment came to be. You're going to see Lauren Compton. She's the host of this show, Love Correction. And I guarantee they go, we're going to have Lauren involved. What should Lauren do? Well, she does dating, something with dating and dude. And then they came up with this brilliant sketch. Watch this.
Love Correction is the first dating app that connects you with real incarcerated prisoners.
What's up?
So they thought we were going to die. When we heard Love oh my God, a dating app for inmates? That already exists.
You know what probably did happen is they were on their show and saw one of their TikToks of someone who's dating someone in prison or whatever. And then Christina was like, what if there was
Imagine.
dating?
Now with
and
a
then
quick,
they probably took that idea and made it into a sketch.
A
That's
quick
my guess.
Google search shows you that not only has this been done before, it's been done thousands of times by actual dating companies.
Not a sketch for real.
For real. So if you type in inmate dating, you will be hit with thousands of results about services where you could hook up with an inmate.
Meetaninmate.com, loveaprisoner.com.
These are all real places. So your hilarious, absurd, fall on the ground laughing idea is nothing more than a real company. And furthermore, not funny, even if it wasn't. Even if this came from the mind of Mencia, not funny at all. What if they had a dating service where you could date? Well, they do. And if they didn't, it wouldn't be funny at all. Get it? You listen to Redbar? Let's see. Now, is Louis J. Gomez this? No, that's not Louis J. Gomez, right? Should be.
If you're like me, then you're probably super fucking
You look like a Palestinian dog. Look at these Palestinian fucking eyes. I could prove it. That's the eyes of a dirty, dingy, should be dead Palestinian. You hear me? I won't rest till they're gone. Or actually, I mean, dirty Israeli. I won't rest till Israel is gone. I really won't. And you know what? I love that fucking war. I love that war. I pray for war every day. I want all your fucking tax money going to war every day. All of it. You brown-eyed Sheba.
Which is why I created a dating app tailored.
She's literally wearing Elon's new necklace. That is so cheesy. Did you see who's selling these?
Made to help you find that special someone who's available emotionally.
Ooh, I hate her breasts. Let me tell you what I hate about breasts. This is how you know how every guy, they're like, she has big tits, oh, big tits. Hey, what porn do you jack up to? Oh, I just type in big tits, oh. And there's a sector of guys that it doesn't matter if it's like a 90-year-old big fat woman. If she has big tits, they don't know the difference. Well, I've got an easy way. Before you start going, big tits, oh, big tits. Look a little closer. If the breasts form into this type of cleavage hoop, where it goes like this, those breasts are, you don't jack off. Do you see the hoop I'm talking about? It's an old woman's laboratory. There's something about that old woman's cleavage that just doesn't do it for me. And you've got it. You can see the hoop even better from farther away. Hoop dreams. Right there. That is an elderly woman's, and there's wrinkles here. Let me guess. It's becoming spotted.
They shouldn't be shooting her from straight on like this.
Never.
That reveals the hoop.
Well, this
Maybe
is the
that's
production.
it.
Does this look like some high-level production? We spent thousands of dollars on this. I mean, this is essentially an hour of a movie. Essentially no different than Iron Man, the movie. The first one.
Hi. Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen, Joe List.
It smells awful. My name is Joe.
Now, this
and
better be
I'm
funny, right? He's a
43, and
comic.
I'm looking to connect with pretty much anyone.
Look at this.
I'm new, and it's not going great.
His teeth look
So
crazy.
they've got him in jail. So they've got him in front of a green screen. We're in this prisoner's common rooms. He's supposed to be on the phone talking to his love correction. And he's telling him a little bit about himself. Now, they reuse this same green screen for every comedian. And throughout this entire episode, they do about 20 of these. So you'll have one with Whitney coming up. You'll have one with the other guys, and they get worse and worse. I'll show you what Joe List does here.
And you might be saying, hey, Joe, why do they call him Crinkle Cut? Well,
Listen,
I think...
So they're just riffing. So the production is, so it's called Love Correction. Just go there, do your thing, man. Just riff and we'll edit. I'm sure it's going to be great. That's not good enough to charge me. You understand how insulting that is? Just whatever. Doesn't matter what it is. The idea, and Tom said, if it's filmed and edited, it's good enough, right? And this is what listen to what he's saying.
Maybe because his penis is shaped like a French fry from Arby's. Anyways, I'm something of...
Arby's French fries are curly. Well, they do also sell a different version of their fry. But if you're going to Arby's and you're not getting the curly... Well, I'll tell you, Jules, I think they're overcooking their curlies. I do.
With that.
I think Arby's, for the last 10 years, has been overcooking their curlies. People are going for the other fry because those curlies are hard as a rock now. Even when you get a perfect spiral that looks like one of Hela Klein's old war sideburns. You get a perfect long spiral. You go like this, and you go, it's hard as a rock from Arby's. I feel bad for Arby's. I wish somebody would tell them, guys, you're overcooking those curly fries. That's why the numbers for those fries are down. That's why Joe List is talking crinkle cut at Arby's. Now, does Arby's have a crinkle cut? Can you look that up? Because I know Arby's for a curly. And he says...
And you might be saying, hey, Joe, why do they call him Crinkle
They
Cut?
do have a crinkle cut,
I think
so...
maybe because his penis is shaped like a French fry from Arby's. Anyways,
But isn't there a better crinkle cut fry place? Why does Arby's have two different types of fries? Why? And then they wonder why they're not making any money this quarter from me. Okay, so here's this sketch, just riffing.
Anyways, drop me a line. I would love to
Think
chat.
about this, though, in the context of Love Correction, a sketch, a professional sketch where it's supposed to be people meeting inmates in jail, but they're just doing these. I mean, that really has nothing to do with the concept of how crazy
someone.
Yeah, right?
And talk. And
it's just them
cry,
riffing in jail.
Cry. But you
Love
can talk
Correction
too.
is you
I'd
riffing in
I'd
jail.
like to get to know you. Just please.
And by the way, there's no riffing in jail. Have you even on what's his name? The guy who had the big jail scene. We hoped it wouldn't all be in jail, and then he got back to California. He's hiding out with his little son in the middle of a liminal space with that wife who's an actress, and they've got the guy from Happy Days in it. Now this is a lovely Barry. Even on Barry, they didn't riff in jail. When they were in jail, they were miserable. When you're in jail, you're miserable. You're not riffing.
Just because they're behind bars doesn't mean your heart has to be. Sign
That's
up
the
today.
writing. This is the writing. Then
In countless cities across the nation,
here's Christina Piss.
discrimination is unfortunately an issue many still face. But what happens when someone is minimized for a reason even more shameful?
She piss feeds her kids with breasts filled with fucking urine. They've been only raised on urine.
I'm speaking, of course, about
This is just
people
her getting
with
a tattoo.
shitty
Look at
tattoos.
this. Yeah, I know. I
Like
just want
me.
to show.
To cover.
So this segment, Christina P's big segment, is she goes to get her tattoo covered up. And then
just
chickens
normally
out.
talks about getting it covered up like you would if it was real life.
Yes, there's no jokes. And then she ends up getting her tattoo removed. And the joke is she fake screams while getting it removed. Watch.
I'm sorry, we can't do that.
Oh, it's a bummer.
Wait. This is the joke. So all the buildup was that she could scream like 40-year-old virgin when he gets his back waxed. That's the joke. So the joke is that's going to hurt like a bee. That's 15 minutes of buildup, and this is the punchline.
And then right
Look.
after it goes back to love correction.
Yes. Well, this is the punchline. And she had to fake scream. So
I
she
don't
goes,
even
oh,
think
yeah.
she thought it hurt.
No, because it doesn't hurt. You know what it feels like? This. I'm doing it right now. You lightly pinch your skin. Believe me, this tattoo removal does not hurt. Tattoos don't hurt. Tattoo removal doesn't hurt. A shot doesn't hurt. You're getting your ears pierced doesn't hurt. Getting your tongue pierced does hurt.
Okay.
So she had to fake scream. And then it's like, so what's the punchline? Oh, Kelly Clarkson? You didn't even scream out a funny thing. You just did this.
Fuck your mother! Fucking fuck!
Done.
Christina P, everybody. Back
Hi,
to
I'm Lauren Compton.
Back to
At
Love Correction.
We promise to match you with a partner who's looking for the same type of relationship you are.
I used to think I could only
same
date
actors.
tall guys with blue eyes who are doctors. Well, now I'm dating a tall guy with blue eyes who murdered his doctor. And I've never...
Oh, by the way, they're all in jail throughout this whole series. Every one of them has been in jail for murdering their doctor, murdering their tennis coach, murdering and strangling their therapist. It's like, that's the crimes you guys wrote? They're all just murdered? Now, why would you want to talk to them?
happier.
There's no better app on the market.
You see? Now let's take a look at another one of the hundreds of inmates
Look at
looking
what
for
we're
that
watching
special someone.
$600 for this.
I'm Whitney.
Oh. Whitney Cummings. Now, this made podcast cringe.
Podcast enforcement.
Comedy enforcement. We really got to get their faces.
Podcast
right above
cringe.
my main monitor. I want 3 portraits of them painted as if they're kings with their title cards underneath.
Cringe, British,
I
enforcement,
know, of
Mexican.
of course. So comedy enforcement. I feel like he should be podcast cringe and the other guy should be enforcement. That's why I keep messing this up. This is the part that made enforcement upset.
Can we try to get them to switch names from
Guys,
say you'll
how about
give them
that?
the money if they switch
I'll give them the money if
names?
they switch names. The money it would cost to switch names, of course. If podcast enforcement, who nobody watches, doesn't care about this bit, nobody cares, or if comedy enhancement, what was his name? Podcast cringe. Switch names, and I will pay for the cost of the name switch.
Which should be zero.
Should be
'cause
zero.
It's YouTube.
But the deal's on the table. Okay, here's Whitney. Let's see what Whitney's big bit is.
So I think twins will be fun, and I can't wait for you to meet them and be their dad.
And then she honks her boobs. Why? Because you guys were just riffing?
And comedy
then-
enforcement went, nothing really happened
Welcome back.
until about 25 minutes in. Whitney rubbed her belly
Which
and
was
took
pretty
her
cool.
tits out.
Which actually I liked. I mean, she did look good.
That's like what he's saying. Okay, let's see. In these Tom ones, I like playing these in between moments because he's so bad at this. And look at this. Shoot, it's like, Tom, why does everyone say you lost weight? I mean, you look like a old school big wig, big facho. You look like a guy who would come out of a limousine with horns. This doesn't look good.
For years, Danny Brown has...
And by the way, he spent so much money on this shoot. This was part of the budget because he got this all custom made. They had to cut this to his body while he stood there. It looks awful. Pinstripes are disgusting. So then they abuse, once again, beloved Danny Brown. Wait till you see what they put Danny Brown through.
Well, tonight, Danny adds to that list with the sport of pickleball.
Pickleball is one of the fastest growing sports in America.
15 years ago.
So the bit is, and Tom created this, the funny big punchline is, oh, here's a black guy talking to whites. This is a bit to you? So the black guy goes to the pickleball court. Oh my God, why is he there? This is for old whites, not young blacks. Comedy. That's what we're to expect here. Nothing happens except Danny interviews white people who are very comfortable around him.
And he doesn't act crazy or do things that only black people would get. He just is like super
literally just him interviewing white people about pickleball. And the joke, I guess, is they're white, he's black, worlds collide.
I live in a little country town of Brookville, Indiana.
This is show racist.
Introduced it to me there.
Wow.
I fell in love with it right away. And
This
I
poor
wanted
Danny
to get people
Brown.
playing.
Oh, he can't even pick up the paddle. He's so black. Doesn't make a lick of sense. This is about the funniest thing Danny Brown did here. And he's barely speaking up. He's shy in front of these white
He doesn't want to do this. I think Tom is forcing him into a slave contract.
Scaring the hose. Scaring the Hose. JPEG Mafia and Danny Brown's historical album, Scaring the Hose, made Fantano's top 50. Tom Segura doesn't even know that album exists. He's just as bad as this Steve O, as far as I'm concerned. When Danny and JPEG Mafia are together in the studio, Danny comes to life. Danny's having a great time. He's talkative. When he's around these YMH guys, this is him. Yeah, so, oh, never mind that. Yeah, so, well, thank you all for tuning in today. That's all we get from the wonderful Danny Brown? Shouldn't he be going, Babylon, Babylon, I know you get Babylon? Something like that. Use him for what he's good at, which is screaming.
I'm here with two pickleball badasses, Dave.
So this is it. They just interview each other. The white people are all very respectful. They don't even see him as a black person.
See if you can show the editing when Danny finally steps on the court. I enjoyed that part.
Should I keep playing here?
No. See if you can skip ahead to when he's about to go on the court because he does all this boring ass interviewing.
Yeah. Wow, that's a lot of boring. Oh my God, this goes on for hours. Okay, let's see. Is this it? Is that him stepping on the court to you? Okay, here it comes. Players only. Here he comes. And there's another black guy here? I
think that's Danny's friend.
No, this is the dude, the producer from YMH.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime, anywhere, I'd fuck him. He listens to Redbar. This is the guy who listens to Redbar. But you've just blown the bit. Now, Danny, because it's the two blacks versus the two whites?
Yeah.
Okay, I see. What is all this? What's all this horse shit? What is this? Jake Paul's mom? Look at this. Then they just poorly played pickleball. I'm supposed to die laughing at this? I'm supposed to die laughing at this? I'm getting mad. I'm getting mad. This is the payoff. For 15 minutes of Danny going, so what do you think pickleball? Oh, all right. So it's like tennis. All right.
I mean, this makes an episode of Big Mike's The Night Shift.
I mean, Big Mike's The Night Shift. He should charge $600.
I know.
I mean, this is just crap. What is this? And Tom's sitting there going, yes, an hour of television. And he thinks it's good. He doubled down after the fans all say it sucked. He goes, I thought it was incredible. You think this is incredible? And Tom rented out a theater. They did a premiere for this. So he got all the comics that were in it. And imagine all his comedian friends. I mean, did you guys think this was funny? Bob Kelly, when you watch, is this funny to you guys? I really want to know. All the other comedians that told me to watch 69 Minutes, Tony Hinchcliffe included, you did a 69-minute ad last week. You said, this is the funniest, most... Can we watch this with you? Can it show me the parts that are funny? Because what you're doing is committing fraud. It's fraud. You tell someone something's funny, when you don't believe it, that's fraud. So they're allowed to do fraud when it can never be legally investigated and arrested, but it is fraud. You're openly committing fraud. There's no way Tony and Big J love this. This is crap. If it was made by Amy Schumer, you wouldn't hear enough about how bad it was and how they can't believe it's on TV.
Pickleball was great, to be honest, man.
You don't know what to say.
I can see the benefits health-wise.
Look at this, and they're just showing shots of poorly produced pickleball.
It's funner than it looks. This is Danny Brown, pickleball aficionado, coming to y'all live from the Kissing Tree Retirement Center, and we out.
If this was free at the gas station, you'd say, "Sir, can I get a credit on this fucking pump? Let me get $2 back, man. $2 back." Oh, no problem, man. Sorry about that. We meant to play Maria Menudo selling lozenges. I mean, this is so bad. This is just the worst content ever, and even Danny Brown knows it. Let's see what comes next. Big outros.
A fantastic report from a unique athlete. Thanks, Danny. We turn now from the art of pickleball to the art.
And look at this. I'm essentially doing this hour's worth of television. It's him standing in front of this TV. Here's me in front of the TV. My TV's bigger, framing's better, suit's better, skin's better, face is better, mustache is better, glasses are better, audio's better, background's better. Am I doing an hour of television, Tom? Am I? I must be Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's on TV a lot in these reruns.
Rory Scovel.
Now he interviews comedian Rory Scovel, who stinks. Sorry.
And I don't know how this guy normally acts, so I can't say for sure, but I feel like he's biting Tim Robinson in this.
You guys know Tim Robbins? 77 Coke, 77 burgers, 77 fries, 70... You know that guy? From I've Heard Enough? What is his show called?
I Think You Should Leave.
When that starts playing, she puts on I Think You Could Leave on Netflix, is it? I start going, oh, God, he doesn't stop shouting.
I like that show, sorry.
We love him. But Rory Scovel, this comedian, you've always heard these comedians go, oh, Rory Scovel's the best. He's not the best. If he was the best, he wouldn't be poor. He's not poor. But he would be a lot richer if he was good. So Rory has decided, oh, I'm on a TV show that I don't normally do. I'm going to take on, what's the guy's name?
Tim Robinson.
Tim Robinson.
Tim Robinson.
I hope that's his name.
So
the white guy.
Now you're making me second guess myself.
Well, I need you to know these names.
Yes, that's his
You're
name.
just going to do his shtick. And if you've seen I Think You Could Dance, what is it called?
Yeah.
What is it really called?
I think
you should leave. If you've seen I Think You Should Leave, throw your hands up now because you're going to see a guy do that guy's character. Send this to Tim Robinson. Send this to I Think You Could Leave. And go, how does it make you feel when you see a guy just use your character?
Well, that and then this.
Scovel.
Tom knows his name. They're friends. His name is Rory Scovel. Tom pronounced it Scovel as a joke in the opening. And now they're just riffing about as if this is, look, they're trying to make you feel like this is real TV. And the big joke is, really? You're going to say my name like that? Wow. And then he flips out. Watch this. This is...
I drove here from fucking LA. This looks like a child fucking...
Nan light. There it is. The $1 million production exposed.
Painted this at the last second because they...
Nan light. You see that? Thank God I'm here because I know Nan light. It's an Amazon amateur lighting company brand for poor people. Talk about for poors. This is the budget modifier you buy when you can't afford the good one. You buy Nan Light. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of people, no, Nan Light makes some pretty... That's what people say when they're trying to be on a budget and not commit suicide. You've seen these people do this. Oh, Nan Light actually makes some pretty good product. Yeah. All the cheap stuff. What are you, Glenn? From the guitar movie show? Glenn, what is his name? Glenn?
Spectre Sound
Studios, where you're trying to sell me a $185 SG from Harley Benton, which I am going to buy. By the way, I'm buying one of those Harley Benton guitars. I went in there. For $116, you could get a big BB King guitar. I'm going to buy that guitar and let you guys know if it was worth just $116. How could they even make that? But look, Tom exposed...
People are saying Nan Light sucks. It's a bunch of Nan.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. But Nan Light is an off-brand like Amazon Chinese junk. Like, this is the budget version of this thing that you would use, this light dome or whatever you want to call this with the diffusion. So it's just very ironic that Tom who's just been bragging about how much money he spent on the production, is using what people in the film industry would say is for the poor.
Wow.
Sorry. You should be just embarrassed of this now. Like, this is just embarrassing to me as you seeing me with this watch to Tom Segura. It's the same fucking thing. We've got very expensive. I go, what's the most expensive modifier you've got? We don't budget when it comes to Redbar. We don't budget when it comes to our food, our hygiene. Budgeting is for the weak. So here he is, and now Rory Scovel is going to act like a fool.
You use oil, pastel, is it water based? How do you...
Do you think you did a great job? Because I'm sure this Rory Scovel, I've seen his work before. This is something that he wouldn't put out. I think if he viewed this, he'd go, no, scrap that. Are you okay with this, Rory? Can you guys ask him in his little Instagram where these guys play with their clips? Go, hey, we saw your performance there. Was that the performance? Did you want that in there? Because it looked like he took some bad takes. He was using the bad take of you. It came out really bad, and usually you do better stuff. This is what you want? Because I'm Mike from Redbar. This is what he's seeing of you. Is that what you want? Thousands and thousands of kids, this is what they're seeing of you for the first time. This is your performance.
It's not water. I will use oil, and I have. It's mainly.
And they hated
acrylic.
it too. They've all said they hate it on Reddit. So
possible,
You could literally watch the entire thing.
There's not a skippable moment as far as showing you how bad it is. Every moment, because every minute that goes by shows you how they've wasted camera time. Like, you would never be able to watch a show and see so much dead content in a show.
Like, find that thing where he goes over the year with the girl from The Sopranos.
Ooh, that is bad. We've got more love connections.
And they do a love connection where the guest, quote unquote, is Jessica Curson, and she doesn't even mention anything about being
jail.
in prison and
If
just
I
does
see
her
that, I'll
regular comedy.
This segment was awful. Tom flew to New York.
God, go to the part where he's in the sex shop.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, right,
oh my God.
that
yeah.
part. Go 5 seconds back from that.
Yep. Okay, this is the Are You Garbage guys, and their big cameo was just to talk to Tom at a park and ask him what he's doing here. That's it. Stock footage in New York City.
This guy.
So he does this thing where he abuses retards on his show. He finds the craziest, goofiest dressed New York City retard.
But Jared Nathan hates us and thinks Tom is cool.
I'll tell you this, and I want this to be on record. I hate New York City accented retards. Every show's got them, from Ethan Klein to Howard Stern to Tom Segura. You go on, and it's a sex guy who's 68 years old. He's all disheveled. He talks like this, and he's into dildos. And the joke is they can't believe that this guy is so shitty and into dildos. That, to me, isn't comedy. To pick on a retard, to find a retard and hope that the retard does something silly. And especially when the retard is like dressed in comedy clothes, like a shiny bow tie and a little hat and all this stuff. That's not funny. So he wastes this whole segment going there. But I want to show you this sex shop.
It's the cigarettes.
I want to show you this sex scene coming up at the sex shop that he goes to. Now, Tom thought this would be hilarious. Why? Because it's Tom, you see. Tom Segura. But he's going to be in a sex shop. Dude, like, people are going to fucking die. All the money was spent on this New York trip for Tom and this production company that he hired in New York to be cool. So he sees the Purple Passion sex shop, which has S&M clothes. Ha, ha, ha. Dildos,
really
butt plugs, nothing we haven't seen 400 million times everywhere. You know when this was funny? When I was 2, walking into Spencer's Gifts. I go, oh my God, sex toys. And then when I turned 3, I said, yeah, I hope the business, is it doing well? That's it. Anal adventure. I'm supposed to die because I'm seeing a dildo. Dildos are not funny at all. Remember when Melton deep-throated a dildo? Patrick Melton deep-throated that purple grape dildo?
I remember
it
the
is
gif.
not. No one should be playing with a man's dill.
If I wore this to wake up my children, it would be immediate therapy for a decade.
This is his opportunity for a joke. You got to hear this again. He puts on this leather mask, and this is his joke.
It would be immediate therapy for a decade.
Not funny! If I were this for my children, it would be immediate therapy for a decade. This is what you're being paid for? To say something of that caliber? You thought I was going to... You thought me and Joke World would be crying right now. We're mad. He's upset. That was the biggest joke of the segment, too.
Can't seem to get anyone to do it. But
Look what he's doing, just moping around the shop. Even Gila Klein puts on better performances than
my texts, so maybe
he's mumbling.
Okay, fuck this. The only other part that I wrote down. Oh wait, see if you can see the Jessica curse on.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find that.
Oh, and the manners part.
They did a manners etiquette class where Tom just does etiquette perfectly. Look at this. Watch this. This is what they did. How funny, guys, would it be to see Tom take etiquette classes? But Tom, you were raised filthy rich. I mean, you were raised in this exact room.
And
like this is where you ate
is
lunch.
Supposed to be that she has no etiquette, and so she just is like eating food sloppily in a t-shirt.
It doesn't make any sense. Watch this little bit of this etiquette class.
I'm impressed.
There's no way that animal knows that.
And then I'm just going to
So then they cut to Christina, and her joke is she's a homeless bum now who does the opposite. Watch.
Well, get that shit all in there.
But you don't do
Because I'm going to
this.
eat the whole
But you
damn
don't
thing.
do
I'm
this.
Lovely. And chew it.
But you don't act
Good.
like this.
It's so chewy.
It's a little chewy.
Ow.
So since you know it's that chewy, you don't want it anymore.
So they thought this would be a hysterical juxtaposition of Tom doing it perfect and you doing it fake and sloppy. And you didn't even go hard at it. You're just like, I eat the bread like this. That's it. Shouldn't you have gone?
And then after a few seconds, they kind of lose that premise.
They
and they're
forget
just
that
sitting
premise, and then it's just
together
Tom
again.
kicking ass at etiquette with no jokes, and them wasting this woman's time. Let's see, do we have... Oh, Duncan Trussell, he did a very poor act. Stavros dressed as Santa and read a fake Christmas poem that sounded like this.
And when searching for gash.
What is gash?
You seen a gag like this before?
Women
So he's Santa, but get this, he's talking to kids. Instead of doing a Christmas poem, he's doing a sex poem. Usually kids are used to a legit Christmas poem. But not Stavros, because he's fat. And he's into hookers. So they do this.
Sight made me certain I wouldn't need dick pills that night.
My dad uses those pills.
I mean, Big Mike does Blue Chew commercials with these poems all the time, just like this.
A lot of men doing it is nothing to be ashamed of. A bar with a sign that said
Stavros
White
didn't know
Claw
this was
served
going to
here.
be a main segment. He thought this was maybe going to be between two bigger
But Stavros,
bits.
when you read the copy, did you not think this isn't funny enough? Why couldn't you step in and go, we got to make this funnier, dude?
The girl that spilled wine on her breasts.
The kids weren't really there when you said this part. Then you bring in the kids and have them react to something you didn't say. Ho, ho, horrible. Shame on Stavros. Okay, let's see what the... Oh, here's this Jamie-Lynn Sigler. Now, you're not going to believe this. So on YMH, Tom has hired the Sopranos kids to do a show. Okay? And they've tried podcasting. These two, have you seen them? We've made fun of them in the past when they had this other show. They've tried podcasting 2 or 3 times, appearing as the brother and sister from the epic Sopranos show. And every time their podcasts have failed. Well, now they're on YMH. Tom wanted to really impress people by getting Meadow Soprano. And their first podcast got 200K views. They've been losing 50K views per episode until now they're down to 19K. So congratulations. I don't know what your plan is. It's not going to get bigger. You had Tom's whole audience check it out. They said no. And 19K out of 1 million are with you now. And most of those are me trying to get... I'm clicking. So he's got these guys, and they don't even do a comedy bit. Wait till you see the bit they do. You're not going to believe it. Watch this.
Yeah, this year somebody had a big oopsie on a submarine.
The submersible. They literally go over the sub. I
like screamed when that appeared on screen.
Wait. So their bit is that they're going to go over the crazy submarine incident from this year. This is really what they're doing.
Yeah.
Watch this.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what this is, but it kind of reminds me of how I live my life, you know?
You don't know what this is? So the little jerk from The Sopranos who's too short to be anywhere, he goes, I don't know what this is, but it's really like, he didn't ask you to make a joke. You know what the submarine is. It's been drilled into our brains.
Here's the thing, if I'm with 8 people,
you could edit stuff out too of these things.
Shit on this thing, I'm hoping it explodes.
They had to get to 69 minutes. They probably had maybe 10 minutes of usable stuff, and they're like, oh shit, we didn't think to like shoot hours worth because we have to make it 69 minutes. So they had to leave in. They only did like one take of everything, as you could see. I mean, there's not multiple takes here. They just, whatever you said first, we recorded it and we're putting it in, and they probably only filmed 70 minutes of stuff. So they had to use it all.
God, I'm like, oh, thank God I didn't have to shit.
It implodes.
Yeah.
That's not making you laugh. You're not laughing.
He's pretending, so he knows this bit is going nowhere. Watch Tom does. He's talking about the sub imploded, okay? Which is what my fucking noggin's about to do. Listen to this.
So much force.
I'd be praying for that right before
You're
shit.
reliving the implosion of the most boring topic I've ever heard in my life. They blow this one too. Let's see how this thing ends. 69 minutes.
And that's all they talk about. Their 2 topics of the year.
Oh yeah,
the
then
submarine
he makes his
and then they just cut the scene.
Then the end scene has nothing to do with 69 minutes, as I heard my friend Podcast Cringe or Enforcement or Too Lazy to Try say. The last bit is Tom making his mom read 90s rap lyrics. So you've got, the bit is, here's an old lady reading gangster rap lyrics. I mean, I feel like this was one of the first videos YouTube had, right? When YouTube first came out. Didn't everyone sit their grandma down and make them read lyrics? Isn't that been done?
The suggestion box was fully like, grandmas react to new songs. Grandmas react to horror
husbands
movies.
react. Dad reacts to his daughter's new tape of Olivia Rodrigo.
The same background,
Dad, that is only 16 years older than daughter, reacts to daughter's music, which he also listens to. Not that weird. Well, this was actually funny to people because she ended up saying the N-word. Now, we can't, of course, play that here, but she says, nigga, 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 nigga. And that's what everyone's dying laughing at. So you've basically made your mom commit a felony. She could lose everything. What if her bank sees this? So let's edit her saying nigga, 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 edit it out, send it to all the banks that she's associated with, send it to her credit card companies. She'll lose everything. She's canceled now. So that's the funniest part. And then it ends. 69 minutes is up.
That's it.
How does it end? Let's see. Let's see his goodbye speech because it was very lackluster.
That's it for the show. Thanks for joining us. Good night and good fuck.
Show me the fat from Congdon. Take a good look around and you
There it
see
was.
big black
69 minutes. What'd you think, guys?
They hated it and they're really mad.
So I showed you proof that it sucked, right? That's proof. Call the cops.
Happy Redbar. Happy Redbar. Happy Redbar. Happy Redbar.